I don't tend to try out many indie games. I mean, sure, I've played Undertale, Shovel Knight, Octodad, and a few others, but they already had some sort of reputation by the time I think about them. Maybe it's because I'd rather spend my money on a new Super Mario game that I was gonna buy anyway, and probably enjoy, as opposed to a game I have no idea I'd even like or not. Go the dolphin! Sorry, just bad game stuck in my throat. You can tell I'm not very adventurous when it comes to trying out new turns. I mean, I bought Halo from a second-hand store a couple of months ago, and I have yet to see if it's good. So, since I've just received a review code for a game called The Ambassador Fractured Timelines, I might as well give it a go. In all seriousness, thank you Quantum Astrophysicists Guild for the game. This would be my honest opinion, but I just want to let you know I'm grateful. The artist at Tiny Dino Games, named TJ, which is probably short for TJ, was a physics teacher until he and Ryan, the programmer, wanted to create a game with an ability that broke the laws of physics. At first, their idea was to play around with teleportation, but then they changed it to stop in time while still being able to move around. According to TJ, everything else kind of grew from and revolves around that initial design choice. And thus, The Ambassador Fractured Timelines was created and released on the 13th of August 2020 on Steam, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. So, is this game good? Let's have a look. The game starts off with you just becoming the Ambassador of Time. And then I took out my eyeballs. Ew. After a bit of training, a big explosion happened in this place, and it's now your job to go through these 3 portals that'll take you to another place and find out who done it. Who done it? The control schemes are a bit like bullet hell shooters, a genre I like and don't play much of. No, seriously, I think Undertale is the most well-known game of that genre, and you don't even shoot anything. Apart from that one boss. But unlike BHS, instead of you do this. You know what? I like it. Adds a bit of strategy, especially with your second weapon, a magic wand, which can shoot better, but you have limited ammo that will slowly fill up over time. You can even switch both of your weapons and armor for different effects like more health but slower, magic balls that follows enemies, a double-spiked spear that can also hit on the way back to you, and more. And let's not forget stopping time around you. You know, the title. It's in it. Right there! All of these moves combined makes for a really good game. I mean, killing enemies is a bit slow, but hey, RPGs took forever. And then there's the difficulty. It starts off fine, but then especially the bosses. My god, they're hard. But that doesn't compare to the final boss. The first boss is okay. The next two, to be fair, I didn't know what to do at first. But then there's this dude who keeps spawning enemies from the ground. And has an instant kill laser. But then, the final boss. You have to kill the enemies before you can attack him. The first few enemies have the ones that can revive others and are a pain to kill. And then you have to dodge all of this. Needless to say, my thumbs were broken after this. At least you get a nice little gauntlet mode for beating the game, and at least the presentation is nice. The music was composed by Tony Mafrodonna, who did a nice job, even though I can't pronounce his last name, so especially the second part of the final boss. That felt good to hear while I was going ah! The graphics, while a bit overused at this point nowadays, never thought I'd reach a point in life where I'm a little bit exhausted with the same pixelated art style in video games. But for what it is, TJ did good. So, overall, what do I think of this game? It's good, that's all I can really say. It's a challenge and it's fun. I do wish there was a bit more levels, but what they did was really good. You're probably wondering at this point, Retrominimii, why is this video still going? Are you finally going to review Shadow the Hedgehog? What? No. Of course not. You idiots. I'm reviewing another indie game I just got a review code for while waiting for this script. Thanks QAG for making this review longer. Developed by Toaster Fuel, this little puzzle game called Deleveled was released on the 9th of September 2020 for the Xbox One, and then a day later for other consoles. So, how well does it do? Let's find out. The gameplay here is straightforward. You control these two squares at the same time that can never touch each other or else. So what you have to do is make them bounce off of each other when they collide from the other side of a thin line. The goal of each stage is for both of the squares to make it to these little portal tinnies. This makes for some really interesting elements. There's like thousands of puzzle possibilities here, and they do that very well. Walls you can only enter from one side, switches that you have to activate for the portals to appear. It's all really well thought out mechanics here. One problem though. Did I mention I suck at puzzle elements? Yeah, I suck. Like, really bad. Not the game's fault by any means, I don't see anything negative I can say about it. It's just... darn my lack of skills. And when I reached out to Kyle Donnelly, the programmer, about its backstory, he told me that the idea was based on VVV, and its gameplay mechanics of a platforming game without a jump move. And I can see the inspiration. You don't really press any buttons apart from these switches. And really, VVV was a great game on its own. The visuals look alright. That is until you complete a stage and the music is cool too, sounding almost exactly like an NES soundtrack. Even more so than many other 8-bit style musics. Patrick Nance, who I found on Twitter, did an outstanding job. Why are there so many composers on Twitter anyway? So, overall, what do I think of this game? It's a fun puzzle game. Not for me, which is very unfortunate, but if you're looking for a brain teaser, this one will keep you going for a while. But ladies and gentlemen, we're not done here. As soon as I finish recording the audio for this review, the QA Guild has sent me another review code. Guys, seriously? This game, called Breakpoint, was developed by Studio Asisha and released on the 24th of September 2020 for PC and Nintendo Switch. So, is this game? Let's just find out. This game is a bullet hell shooter that uses melee weapons instead of That sounds familiar. Like your typical BHS game, enemies fly from every corner of the screen and you have to use these weapons to destroy them to the depths of hell. Sorry. When you destroy them, these little energy tins will appear. Collecting enough of them will level up your weapon. Once you level it up at least once, this little bulletin will appear around you. Destroying more enemies will bring it down, and once it goes down all the way, you will cause a break that will make surrounding enemies go BOOM! There's a lot more strategy to this game than meets the eye, because once you break your weapon, your level will go all the way back down to nothing, and you want your weapons to break with more enemies because they'll drop more energies that will make your weapon even more powerful. You can even grab other weapons. My favorite is the knife. I like to call it a butter knife. You can still act on your own instincts, that's a habit for me, but if you play more carefully and plan your moves, you could get a lot of points for the leaderboard. So, what do I think of this game? I love it. Taking away the shooting, but still making it hectic and arcade-like, it's a neat design. This might be my favorite BHS game out of the few I've played. Nothing really negative about it. If there's anything you could add, well... a versus mode? Maybe? Different colored chips? Free pizza? Oh, and the music and presentation is alright. Just alright. That's it. I'm sorry that this review was a little short. I really did try. I guess I'm probably not cut out for reviewing indie games that I haven't heard about just yet, but at least I'm a little bit more confident about buying more indie games that I've never known about. And, once again, thank you Quantum Astrophysicists Guild for the games. And if you want, you could pay me for reviews next time, eh? Whoa, you made it to the end. I congratulate you. I don't have much to say except for, thanks for the Quantum Astrophysicists Guild for the 3 games. Although, probably next time, don't give me one in the middle of reviewing the other. Just saying. Well, it did make my review a little bit acceptable length. It's, you know, it's kind of a bit annoying, really, but it's great games. Great developers, actually, as well, and yeah, well, it was fun to keep. It was fun to do this, so yeah, I didn't mind. At least I had something to fill out for my next review, which will be a Halloween special. Not a Christmas special, mind you, a Halloween special. Anyway, bye.